Heads in. Out! Out! Out!
Right here!
Play on.
Right.
18! Off the box. Back on. Give him a bit of space, boys. Give him a bit of space.
On the side here. I make the choice okay, you're first time.
But obviously it wasn't. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Maybe that guy was 23. I don't know. Put his jersey on, so in the ambulance. What, let go off? I think so. Off you go, mate. Tackle one. I'm done.
I'll let you know when we're good, Ben.
Go home, watch the footy. On tackle one, guys. Hold! Go. Raiders. One. Yeah. Yeah, who do you go for? 15 on no! Get square! Hold! Hold! Go, 2. Release the leg! Go, 3. Yeah. Hold! Go, 4. Hold! Release him now, 6. Hold! Head up, Luke. Hold! Go, 0. Run away! Get square! Hold! Hold! Go, 1. Off him now, 2! Go, 2. Up now, 9! Get square, marker 10. Hold here. Go, 3. Release the jersey now! Get square! Hold! Go, 4. Hold on. Long kick. Not quick now, lads, just in the middle. Just wait. Yeah. 11 arms away now. Hold. Hold. Go, 0. 8. Do that. Hold here. Hold here. 1. 15. Now. Off now. You get square. Hold. Go. 2. Out of there! Get square here. Hold. Hold. Go. 3. No, it's fine. No one's obstructed. Off the ball now! Up and square, lads. Here we go, 18. Hold. Go. 4. Yeah, no, you've obstructed the number 8. He's come around his own player twice. Number 8's not giving him a chance at the tackle. Good. Off the ball now! Get square here. Let's go, 1. 9! Up and square. Hold here. Go, 2. Play on. Play on. Bonnie, get up! Hold here. Hold! Hold! Go, 0. Bonnie! 14. Hands on the ball. Just there. Yep.
Foot on the line.
Foot was on the line?
Yeah, foot was on the line.
Foot was on the line?
Yeah.
So, alright, still tap guys, foot was on the line. Still, take it into the 10.
10 guys.
Good. One man! Hold, go 1. 11 off the ball! Get square! Go 2. He's gone. He's kicked it.
Okay, we've got minute 55.
Knock on. No. Right here. Let's go, boys. Second most blind. Out! Alright, head in properly. All the way in. Alright, put him in. Help! Stand up! Get square! Hold here, guys. Hold. Go. 1. 11 off. 11 off. Oh, with him. Yeah. Where is he? All good. On the right. On your right. Stand up now! 11 to me. Hold here. Just hold here. Go. 2. From 24, you're early. You're good, mate. Cheers, mate. 10 arms away! 24, just hold with me. Hold. Go. 3 now. Up now! And get square. Hold here, 11. Go, 4. Inside, contacts are right. One! Get up and get square! Here we are. Hold! Hold! Go, 1. Off you now, 11! Lock in a marker with me here. Go, 2. 19 off square. 8! Up now! Hold! Hold here, hold! Go, 3.
Time.
I'll take it, mate. Give it 3.
Thank you.
Pause. Doesn't matter if they do ask. Cheers, mate. Good game.
Alright. Better get into the shed and give all these.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Let's give all these days radios. 10 past 3.
Thanks, mate. Well played. Cheers. Cheers, mate. Yep.
Tom, like, tackle down.
Yeah.
That many times, boys.
Oh, that's a sandwich.
Ice bar.
Yep.
Get back to you for an ice bar.
Might be Mars bar.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 1 2 1 2 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. That's can you plug him into that there? Is that going to work? 1 2 1 2. Well, a belated good afternoon and welcome to Greenway Oval on Bar TV for this round 5 match between the Tuggeranong Bushrangers and the West Belconnen Warriors in the Austbrokers Canberra Raiders Cup. We are running a little bit behind schedule this afternoon. That's due to an injury in the reserve grade game, which saw play suspended for about 20 minutes while we were waiting for an ambulance to arrive and the injured player to be taken away. I don't have any other details, but we do hope that the player injured there is okay. And should we get any news during the course of the afternoon, we will bring that to you. But what a game we have in prospect today. It is a top-of-the-table clash, and this is very exciting. My name is Chris Coleman. Alongside me, Ryan Curran. Ryan, good to have you. How exciting is this? 1 versus 2 on a glorious Canberra Sunday afternoon.
It is certainly the day for it, Chris.
And the records for these sides, they're both undefeated. They both sit at 3 wins, no losses, and 1 bye apiece. Tuggeranong with a 32-point for and against advantage. West Belconnen, 60 points for and against. They sit on top of the table. And I had a quick chat with Troy Thompson, the West Belconnen Warriors coach, before. And I'm still shaking my head a little bit about this conversation. I said, you've got to be happy with how things are. You're on top of the table. Big for and against. And he said, well, no, we're not completing our sets at anywhere near the rate we want to, and we're giving up too many points. This is the side that in round 2, Ryan, towed up the defending premiers, the Queanbeyan Blues, 40-0. And he says they're conceding too many points and they're not completing enough sets. I don't know what else Troy Thompson wants.
Look, it's not a bad record, but that is what the best teams do, Chris.
It is.
Good enough is never good enough.
Too true. Just running through the rest of the record for the tail of the tape before we get underway. West Belconnen have beaten Gungahlin 36-26 and Woden Valley 32-22. For the home side, the Bushrangers, as they kick off, they won in round 1 34-20 over Woden, had a bye in round 2. They knocked over the Goulburn side 26-16 in round 3 and beat Yass last week 20-14. And as I said, it's 1 versus 2. And we are underway, and that would be Mitch Shaw making the play the ball for the West Belconnen Warriors. Ryan Curran, take it away for us on a sunny Sunday afternoon here at the beautiful Greenway Oval.
Oh, it would be my pleasure. They play the ball just outside the 20-metre. He's taken down, 30 out, quick play the ball, runs himself outside of dummy half, where he will be tackled. 2 in the tackle. Long ball goes the open side. Big kick down the centre of the pitch, and that goes directly to the fullback, Matty Gruber, and he pulls it up, and he'll be tackled just outside the 40 metres. Not a bad return there for Matt Gruber.
First time we're seeing a lot of these players. First time we've had the Bar TV commentary duties on Tuggeranong and West Belconnen during the course of this season. Should emphasise that the match of the day selection process is prior to the season for the first few weeks. So the aim of the exercise is to give as many clubs exposure in the early stages of the season as possible. No one, of course, to know that this would be a top-of-the-table clash. We've got lucky getting this one in round 5.
It's worked out well.
And it is interesting. We've got the two sides in the predominantly blue set up, blue jerseys out there today, and it is now the Tuggeranong Bushrangers on the attack, and that would be Noah Venisi running it up to the 20. Last tackle, the call from the referee, Oliver Vito.
Plays it on the 5th outside to Mick Pecker, and he puts a big towering bomb up. Come down to the winger, and looks like it's been stripped there. What's the ref going to call? Looks like it'll be a changeover. West Belconnen to get the ball 10 metres out. Let's see what they can do. Not a great result for Tuggeranong, but it could be worse. They've got them cornered down in their own end, and it'll be hard metres getting it out of their own half.
Big hit from Hickson in there for the Bushies, just charging in. Really impressed with how quickly the Bushrangers are getting up in defence too.
Yeah. Looks like they might be sneaking just a bit offside, but maybe they are just being very quick.
We do have some fans at very close quarters here this afternoon. We are out in the open.
Go down the blind side and big spiral out to nobody. I think you were the target there for that pass, Chris.
It came pretty close to us, didn't it? Levi Tilkakau for the Bushrangers. I think for a moment just thought, hang on, the intercept might be on here. There's nobody it's going to, but it was well outside his outstretched arm.
Look, it wasn't a bad play. I think the winger may have been able to, if he was able to hang on to that or even get a hand on it. There's a bit open in front of him, but it looks like just the Bushrangers will be able to build some pressure now. 5 metres inside the West Belconnen half. Scrum to come.
Don't you love the modern game of rugby league where, okay, we've only got 5 in the scrum, who can we bring up? I'll call the centre up to pack down in the second row, and Francis Toedo goes and sticks his head in the second row of the scrum. Got to love that kind of stuff about the modern game of rugby league.
Well, I saw Clinton Gutherson pack in the front row yesterday for the Eels, so
See everything. Venisi's been involved a couple of times early for the Bushrangers, and that's him taking it up. What's that, the 10, 20, 30 metre line? And now a big run from Daniel Hickson. Easy to pick him out wearing the headband out there this afternoon. They'll come across to the right again. In fact, they spin it the other way with Picker.
And the halves combining there.
That's a good little play there from Murray and Picker on the run-around play.
Now just outside the 10, plays the ball to Brent Neal, and he will be brought down just underneath the sticks.
Good.
Oh, and an intercept there for the West Belconnen Warriors, so they get the ball 5 metres out from their own end.
Tavita Aroha Twinavai showing great reflexes there on the grubber kick. There were a couple of chases through. Oh, they've lost the ball
lost
here.
It again.
That's Francis Toetu, and he's gone over for the try. Scores it just inside about 10 metres, maybe 12 in from touch. So it's come from nothing.
It has. And look, I thought that was a lost opportunity for Tuggeranong when they lost the ball after getting it set inside the West Belconnen end. But Belconnen themselves losing the ball and giving the Tuggeranong Bushrangers a chance to ice what they couldn't just earlier.
So what are we? 4 minutes gone, 4-0. It's been a real trend amongst in our Bar TV games this year to see points scored early. And Francis Toetu.
And look, he showed good strength there. And good footwork. He was surrounded by guys. Managed to beat a couple of players and dragged a few over into the end zone.
Well, you see it from time to time where there's a changeover due to a dropped ball, and the players quite often don't necessarily go straight on the attack there. So it was good to see the Bushrangers turn defence into attack, pick the ball up and just carry on as though it was business as normal. Now who we got here? Josh Mitchell with the kicking duties for the Bushrangers today. Jaden Pollard's kicked plenty, but that one's not a bad-looking kick from Mitchell from over near the sideline. He converts the try, 6-0, 5 gone in the Canberra Raiders Cup, Ospreakers Canberra Raiders Cup match of the round here. The home side off to a good start, but I can tell you, having seen plenty of West Belconnen in the last couple of years, they're not the kind of side that a 6-point lead early in the game is going to mean much against.
No, and especially in a round such as this, 1v2. I'm looking forward to a very exciting game. Points early means let's see what the West Belconnen Warriors can pull out themselves.
Bit of a delay while the ball comes back, or a ball comes back in. So it'll be Matt Campbell with the kickoff. And we're back underway.
Blake Murray just had a little peek there.
Just a moment. Matt Gruber get involved as coming up from fullback, getting involved in a bit of acting half play as they now get a run with Mitchell. Shaped to offload, but the defence was up very, very quickly. We've got plenty out to the right. They go that way now. They had Brent Neal there, but
Benisi.
I reckon there was space for Neal to run into as well, but they just couldn't get the ball to him. Now they go out wider with the kick. That's a good kick. There's nobody home for the Warriors, and it bounces awkwardly for Jackson Duffy.
And Jackson Duffy trying to get away from the Tuggeranong Bushrangers, but brought down 15 metres out. They'll start their set.
Crossfield goes Matt Campbell.
Steals a couple of extra metres. Oh, a good run there. Makes around 15 metres straight through the middle.
Duncan Litzter that was. 2 Litzters out there today for West Belconnen. One of them Duncan in the forwards, the other's Bailey. He's on the wing on the far side. Kick from Ryan McQueen this time. They've got 2 good kickers. Now he's touched that. He's knocked it back, says the referee. Levi Tilkakau.
It's fortunate to get away with that one. You see that often called a knock on, and Matty Gruber makes a meet. Oh, but he's lost the ball, and everybody's lost the ball, it looks like. But I think it'll be knock on first from Tuggeranong, then West Belconnen, so West Belconnen will get the ball back.
Yeah, referee Oliver Levito today in good position there to call on that Tilkakau drop ball. It certainly went back from his hand, but you're right, Ryan, we do see plenty of those called as knock-ons during the course of the season. But definitely went back, so a good call from Ollie Levito. And now a good chance for this West Belconnen side to put the foot down as Tavita Aroha Twinavai.
Excellent work, Chris.
He's not the first time I've seen him play. He gets up to about the 20-metre line. Which way do they go? They're all spread out to the right here. This
shaping for a sweep play on the left, but they go down the middle of the park with Tim Sloman.
Now it goes to Harry Brown. Harry Brown onto Nella Moa. This is the stuff that West Belconnen just eat for breakfast in the past couple of years. Bailey Lockhead
starts to go for a little run himself.
Look at him, he's only 5 metres out, if not less. Last tackle.
Setting up out to the right, and that's the way they go. Oh no, they come back.
You got fooled by Harry Brown. You're not the first person to be fooled by him, and you won't be the last. He's very deceptive, in especially in close to the line.
But a turnover, and Tuggeranong brought down. First tackle outside. Matty Gruber has another run.
West Belconnen keeping the tackled player up, holding him in the hope that they can just get him up off the ground and really turn him towards the sideline. Referee's called held, so we'll come back for the play of the ball. They're still only 5 metres out. Once it's the second tackle. Now, I'm not sure. I just wonder whether he just said 6 again. I saw him wave his hand over his head, and I thought that... I'm not sure whether he's called 6 again or time on. So we'll just keep an eye on the tackle count, because that might just be the first tackle on this set. And,
I think that might be the fourth tackle.
Well, we'll find out in a second. You watch the play, I'll watch the referee. He's shielding his eyes from the sun. Yep. That might have been what I was seeing before.
And big kick from Josh Mitchell.
Duffy, a little bit awkward on the footing. Managed to turn around and get the ball back up outside over the 40.
And that was a great set in defence from the Warriors. They'll get to start their set just over the 50 metre on the second tackle.
Ricky Fullervite. He cuts and runs. Now it's with Matt Kelly.
West Belconnen starting to make some good metres up the middle.
Aren't they? 10 metres every play at the moment. Plenty of options. That's Harry Brown. Brown gets an offload away. I think it's Nella Moa in the bottom of the pile, and he's lost the ball in there, but the referee is saying that the Bushrangers were up too quick. So it'll be... No, he's not saying the Bushrangers are up too quick. What's he saying? Hang on. He's making multiple signals. We'll just give him a moment here.
It looks like West Belconnen are going to get the ball back.
Yeah, he has said that what's happened was while he was signalling, he's turned, and so it is a penalty. No, it's a ball. No, I've got it right. He's turned and he's given the penalty to the Bushrangers. So there you go. Multiple signals, and I'm wondering whether he's...
Well, great opportunity now for the Bushrangers.
Let's just move on with it as we see Francis Toetu, the try scorer, take the ball up to the 40.
And now we have Josh Mitchell playing it to Ata Tupou. He gets tackled just at the 35 metre mark. Second tackle. They spread it out the open side. Goes through the hands to Noah Vanisi, and he takes it up. He gets another 10 metres. Now the Tuggeranong Bushrangers in the 20 metre zone. Let's see what they can do with it. And they drop it cold, unfortunately. Opportunity wasted for the Bushrangers. West Belconnen get it back at the 20 metre line.
So Ricky Fullervite pouncing on the drop ball very, very quickly, and we've seen 1, 2, 3. I think we've seen 4 drop balls already here, and 1 try coming off it. And now Tim Sloman, one of the dependable players for the West Belconnen Warriors, takes it up outside the 30. Can they get it to Harry Brown? No, they can't. He was charging up very quickly, the little 5'8". He's staying off the ruck at the moment. Now he has the ball quickly on his outside. Looks like Nella Moa again. The Dayglow green boots. Gee, that's a trend in footy that's still around. It goes back to Harry Brown for the big kick downfield. Now, who's going for it? Gruber has it. He's got the winger on his outside. That'd be Pollard over on that far corner. Doesn't use him, takes it himself and gets up to about the 20.
He's had a lot of involvement early, Matty Gruber. It's good to see.
He has indeed. They're going to go across to the right. Oh, that's a very ordinary pass.
Let they get away with one.
Yep. Didn't lay a hand on it. The player was charging up, and it was Mitchell who suddenly realised it was coming to ground in front of him, so he gets into the ball. Now we've got a new player on in the black headgear there, I think. It's one of the bench players. I'll keep an eye on who that might be. As we see on a run, that looks like Jaden Pollard heading up the middle of the park.
Nice little run, stills almost 20 metres. Oh.
It's not a new player in the headgear. It's David Fayette who's out there in the headgear, number 3, the centre for the Bushrangers.
They take the very quick kick.
It's fooled me because in the warm-up, David Fayette was not wearing the headgear. He has the biggest head of hair. It's a big mop top. And so I'm sitting here thinking, why have I not called Fayette? And that's why, because there he is there with the ball. He's got the headgear on.
He's in disguise.
Yeah, he looks completely different to how he did 15 minutes ago when they were warming up. So we changed the notes on the program from headgear from hair to black headgear.
Well, first tackle gone. Tuggeranong Bushrangers have it. 5 metres out. Goes through to Mick Picker, who passes back to Josh Mitchell. He tries to take on a few and gets tackled. About 7 metres out, just in front of the goalposts. They go blindside. Passes back in, but tackled again just 2 metres out. Starting to build some pressure, the Bushrangers. Josh Mitchell just goes himself, but I think he's going to be held up. About a metre out. Here they go to the open side. Mick Pickett tried to have a little run himself.
Had to Poe in space as well.
Little kick in from Josh Mitchell, but it's battered dead by the West Belconnen Warriors. Not a bad option, and we get to build some pressure and go again.
Would have liked to have seen an extra pass on the 4th tackle there. They had a Tupou in space and at speed, but they just couldn't get the ball out there fast enough. So it'll be the line dropout because it was batted over the dead ball line by the West Belconnen Warriors. So the home side, the Bushrangers, there's 6-0 lead, 15 gone. It's a pretty ordinary looking kick. It's only going to make it about 35 out, and it's picked up on the run by Levi Tulkarkow. Gets inside the 30 and up to the 23 of the Warriors. Jump on him to bring him to ground.
Ooh,
and very quickly up. Has he got the ball? There he has.
Stripped it, play on for the West Belconnen Warriors. Look, I thought he came up awfully quick, but that's good defence.
That's just theft from Aroha Twinavai. Great play from the West Belconnen Warriors. Oh, now there's a knock on. So we go from some great play in defence to some shocking play in attack. Matt Campbell just lifted his head for a moment to look where the gap was to see whether he was going to go left or right. You've got to watch the ball into your hand on the play the ball in there. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in trouble, and he did.
And 15 minutes goal. Chris fatigue's no excuse.
No.
Especially coming off.
Now, this is interesting. We've got a spare ball out there on the field. Nobody's spotted this. Just keep an eye on this. Oliver Levito calls time off. There is a ball over... Oh, okay, so the ball boy's going over to get it now. I was a little bit worried that we're going to wind up with a ball in the scrum and another one sitting on the ground at the 10-metre line, but we've got it all sorted.
Doing their job.
Pick it up from the scrum for us here, Ryan, because this could get exciting here as that's Toedo in the headgear.
They spread it out wide early off the scrum. Come back through the middle.
Oh.
Almost finds the gap. But brought down just over the 30. Mitchell to play now.
So Toedo again. He's getting involved a lot on this set.
Mitchell goes himself, but it looks like he's again lost the ball.
He has.
What's the ref? Knock on.
Now, which way is he calling this a knock on? Okay, he's saying... having got confused by when he turned around before, I'm just going to wait here because for mine his first signal was that it had actually been knocked on by West Belconnen. Because he was indicating to the left of your screen, and indeed the ball is in the hands of Mick Picker on the far side of the scrum, who you probably can't see, but we can from our commentary position. So it is a knock on from West Belconnen. A little bit of luck for the Bushrangers, but there's someone down injured behind the play. I think it's Matt Kelly.
Looks to just be a cramp.
He's, 17 minutes in and we got the first cramp of the day. It's going to be a long afternoon. There's no excuses for cramp out there. It's a bit cool in the grandstand where it's shaded, but out there in the sun, beautiful afternoon here in Canberra. And the Bushrangers, they win the scrum off their own feed, and they are attacking hard. They're about 15
Matty
out.
Gruber runs himself and Matty Gruber tried to find the space on the edge, but
it wasn't there. It was never there.
It was never going to be there, and he's brought down and taken out. So another missed opportunity for the Tuggeranong Bushrangers because fresh set of 6, 20 metres out, and Matty Gruber's just run himself into touch.
Has not been a game that has reached any great heights in its first quarter. We're 18, make it nearly, we're about 18 minutes in now. This game has not reached any great heights in the first 20 minutes. It has been very much, probably more stop than start at some stages. And I've got to tell you, I've just looked at something over the far side, and you might be able to catch it in the back of the picture. We've got about 12 kangaroos grazing on the far side of the field. You don't see that in the world of rugby league every day. We'll get to, at some stage, we'll get a wider shot or a tighter shot on that, provided they haven't taken off by half time. But it could be some interesting distractions on the play of the ball later on this afternoon.
Tell you what, I wouldn't want a shoulder charge from one of those fellas.
No, and I wouldn't try to tackle them if they steal the ball and pop it in the pouch. They can just have it, and we'll play on without it. We've got yet another knock on here. This game is just really stuttering and stuttering. It's almost like someone's found the 1965 Valiant in the garage. They said, let's see if this thing will actually go. And it sort of sputters into life, makes it 5 metres down the driveway, and then stops again. It really hasn't been much of a game to write home about so far, and we are 20 minutes in with the score 6-0, the Bushies over the West Belconnen Warriors in this top-of-the-table clash. On the way there, I think that may have been...
Pollard.
Oh, is that Pollard, is it? In there. Oh. And we're across to the right now, and that is Brent Neal. So they're 25 out, the Bushies. And Mitchell comes into dummy half. He's got one of his big men on the outside. That's Venisi. Quick hands finds Picker. Picker gets a player in support on the outside. It may have been Toetu. No, Toetu's the next one out. They've gone back to the left now. Once again, Venisi. He's about 10 out directly in front.
Venisi plays the ball to Mitchell. Plays to the right, big dummy. It tries to go himself, but it looks like he has gone himself. Has he managed to get the ball down? Ref looks and he's happy. Josh Mitchell, out of dummy half, just throws the big dummy, fools all of them, and gets the try. And he'll probably kick it too. Doing it all himself today, Mitchell.
Well, he's got one conversion already, his first conversion for the year. And now he's a try. That's his second try for season 2018. And the Tuggeranong Bushrangers, 10-0 up, 20 minutes gone. Exciting play. And while I don't have a monitor here, I'm going to ask Trav. Yeah, we can see the kangaroos. Are you zooming in tight on those kangaroos for us? Trav is getting. There you go. There's something you don't see every day. There's a couple of them now hopping off as well. I did say in the lead-in that this is one of the most picturesque grounds for sport that I've seen anywhere in the world. It is a fantastic view. We get a view off to the mountains to the south of Canberra and to the southeast of this ground. It's not so good up to the north where it's sort of, late 20th and early 21st century architecture, but off to the southeast it's fantastic, and those kangaroos just adding to it, not the kind of thing you see every day. Now, what's going to happen with this conversion from Mitchell? Easy as you like. He could have sneezed and put it over from there. 12-0 to the home side. Great start for them.
Yeah, it has been great, Chris. And look, the key thing for the Rangers has just been holding on to the ball, and that's been the story of the night. If the West Belconnen Warriors, they've looked dangerous as well. For a period there, they were making 10, 15 metres every run they made. If they can hold on to the ball, they're still well in this game, well, with 60 minutes left.
Oh, they're still well in the game. No, they could score 2 tries in 2 minutes. But you mentioned there that the thing that they've done so far, and I won't say they've done it considerably better, let's just say marginally better than their opposition, is they've held onto the ball slightly more and been able to reap the reward. They've scored 1 try off a drop ball, and they got some sustained possession there after both sides had repeatedly fumbled or knocked it on, and they got advantage of it there with Mitchell being able to run over from dummy half about 5 metres out. So they lead 12-0.
Matty Gruber to play the ball. And now we're just up to the halfway mark. Couple of tackles gone for the Bushrangers. Josh Mitchell out of dummy. Big kick from the halfway. And it's going to just roll in.
That's Jackson Duffy going way over in the far corner, getting the ball.
They spread it wide.
Oh, full of light
contact
coming.
He's brought down just outside of 10 metres, so not many metres in this set for the West Belconnen Warriors, but some crucial ones there, 15 metres. Little scoot out of dummy half from Matt Campbell. He's brought down 30 metres out.
This is Shaw with the right leg
Shaw
heavily
now
strapped.
on the last for the Warriors. Here comes Harry Brown with the big kick down the middle of the park.
Oh, Falcon time.
We've got our first Falcon of the evening. And the Tuggeranong Bushrangers will start their set just outside their 20.
I feel sorry for Pollard. He's just worn that one full on the chin off the ground, and now it's Gruber once again, picked up and put down in the tackle. Starting to shuffle a few things around this Tuggeranong side. They're not making a huge amount of metres on any particular tackle here. In fact, they've kicked early in the count this time just to get the ball out of dodge. Mitchell looking for the 40-20, but the ball takes a turn around. Duffy has to wait for it to turn. Turns a second time, actually, and now he's...
And looks up to find 4 Tuggeranong Bushrangers staring down the barrel. That is...
yeah. Which one do I run at? Who's going to hurt me the least when he tackles? Got a few of them back on side now. That's Litster. Takes the ball to about 10 metres out. Now pick up and go.
Nice little scoot out of dummy half. 20 metres there. Gets that set rolling for the West Belconnen Warriors.
Good work by Nathan Smith defensively there, because if he hadn't held on to that tackle, would have been through and off to the races. Dan Killick-Moran's now made his way onto the ground for the West Belconnen Warriors. Player I had plenty of time for last year, saw a bit of him. Now it's with Aroha Twinavai, so it's hyphenated name to hyphenated name. Now the kick comes from Bailey Lockhead. Oh, look at the height on that thing. There's a plane up there and it's almost hit it.
Matty Gruber lets it bounce in.
Danger! Oh, that was dangerous.
Those bounces can go anywhere, but he's gone away with one. Went over his head. He lost the ball for a minute there and then just managed to hold on to it before being tackled. Now, Tuggeranong just over their 30-metre line, and a surrender tackle there from Francis Toedu.
So Dill Karkow's come in and played a little bit off the wing on the last couple of sets. Oh, big run.
Big as that fresh face up on the field.
There's never any chance of him stopping or veering.
Little regard for personal safety there, which is what you want to see.
Here we go. This Tuggeranong Bushrangers forward pack
now they've got to roll on.
Some momentum. Picker, big kick. What's Duffy got?
Oh, and it's just spiraled away from there. And he did put it down, and you had a Bushranger running through. Almost managed to get the ball back there after the West Belconnen Warriors fumbled it just a little bit.
The Bushrangers, not surprisingly, the Bushrangers playing the angles of this park particularly well on their kicking game. You're seeing a lot of kicking over to that far side. It is difficult for a player to pick the ball up because it's coming out of the sun when you're over on that far side. So we've seen a couple of kicks, just enough for Jackson Duffy to have to get around, and I think a couple of them have fooled him because he actually lost sight of it in the sun there. And now we see Tavita Aroha Tuanavai take it up to the 40, but this is the last tackle for the West Belconnen Warriors. Which option do they go with? This time it's the Ryan McQueen kick, and this is a completely different kicking game. Chips it through, picked up by Pollard. Pollard thinks about giving it to Gruber, goes for himself, goes across field, gets past one, gets past the second, brought down eventually by the third, which would be Mitch Shaw, the tackler for the West Belconnen Warriors. Now it's with Till Karkow, and he runs across the field as opposed to going forward. So they've travelled 55 metres on 2 tackles and made 7. That's a better way to make meterage. Just drop your head, drop the shoulder and run. And if the opposition side decide to go with the shoulder instead of tackling you, you will get the penalty, and that is exactly what has happened here. And a penalty for the Tuggeranong Bushrangers, which means that it'll be Josh Mitchell putting the ball into touch, and they will once again be in attacking territory. Now, we've seen a couple of powerful runs, straight direct runs from their forwards here, Ryan, and I just think that if they can get that a little bit closer to home, as Nathan Smith does precisely that. Oh, he gets an
nice
offload away
offload
as well, and a secondary offload taken by Hickson. And Hickson able to crab another 5 metres there. If they can start to run straight and direct and fast at this other end of the park, it could be danger time again for them, as we see Fabian Antonio now. Early touch for him, and he takes it up outside the 20. Back on the inside. That's Smith.
And he's got it through. He's looking for the offload, and he's just put it down.
He had Gruber at full tilt. Absolutely pedal to the metal, and Gruber just couldn't reach it. It was just in front of him.
I've liked Gruber's support. I've liked his involvement, but he has had a couple of errors in him this game. needs to just hold on to it, and he's looking dangerous.
I won't often encourage a player to go for the spectacular. I won't often say to a player, you've got to do something here that would have looked flashy. But there, you can just see it. If Gruber had decided to dive there, if he dived at the ball, he could have dived it, taken it in the hands, flown over the line, landed. It would have been try of the month quite easily. And I know it's only the first weekend of the month, but that's what we would have given it to him. Absolutely. But instead, knock on. Or loss of ball, and it's the Warriors to come away with it, and it's Jackson Duffy making the first run, and he gets to about 10 metres out.
Now an opportunity for the Warriors to start building some pressure themselves. Look, what I think they need is to run a bit harder, and look, that's better from Harry Watman. And just, sorry, I've put the knock on him, haven't I?
Welcome to the commentator's curse. You give a go a rap, he spills the ball, and it's picked up by Francis Tuetu for the Bushrangers. So once again, the home side a chance to go on attack as they give it to Brent Neal.
And here we are, basically starting their set in the West Belconnen end zone. Another nice run there from Antonio. He's brought down 10 metres out. Mitchell thought he was going to pass to his forward, but then
it winds up with Tulkakau right in the corner of the field. They've got 4 tackles here from next to no metres out.
Spread it wide out to the left again. Back to Gruber. Gruber's going himself, gets the offload, but desperation there really from Matty Gruber. It wasn't really on. Tried to get around, and then desperate offload at the end. It's another missed opportunity for the Bushrangers to put a little more on the West Belconnen Warriors. 18-0 up with 10 minutes to go would have been nice. But they give the Warriors an opportunity now to get one back.
This Warriors side, did I mention, I can't remember whether I mentioned that Troy Thompson said he also wanted his side to complete more sets. He said they're only completing so far this season at 50 or 60%. And I think we've seen that this afternoon. I'd be surprised if they were even at 50% this afternoon. I think they've knocked it on or dropped the ball in more than every second set at the moment. If they get some, when they hang on to the ball, they're making plenty of metres. But we're seeing lots of their sets only get as far as the second or third tackle. Harry Brown now takes it up outside the 20.
That's better. Just tuck it under and run.
Well, sometimes there's a bit to be said for possession. Just hang on to the ball. Don't try anything flashy. Don't try anything smart. Just hang on to it and actually just complete a couple of sets. Even if you only make 30 metres, just to give yourself a chance to feel the ball in your hand and to get a few players to start getting a feel for the pace of the game as the ball goes to ground. But it's helped out this time.
Exactly what the West Belconnen Warriors needed at this point, honestly, Chris. Now, if they can finish this set, if they can possibly get a repeat set, they've got 10 minutes left in the half, just under 10 minutes. If they can jag one back now, the scoreline will be flattering to the 12-6. Would not be bad considering the glut of possession, really, that the Bushrangers have had over the Warriors and how many sets they've managed to complete.
Big kick from Harry Brown, and he does make plenty of it. Kicks from inside his own 30, I think it was, and he's put it to just inside the opposition 40. So from 35 out, big chance here. And it's Aroha Tuanavai takes the tap. He gives it to Dan Killick-Moran. And Moran, he makes another 10. So they're at the 20.
You go down the blind side to 12, that's Nelamoa.
And now they're in the red zone. Jacob Graham, we haven't seen a lot from him, comes into dummy half through the hands of Killick-Moran onto Bailey Litster, and now they're 5 metres out.
Now they go to the blind side, almost a knock on. And that's the way they've called it. So, 2 tackles in.
They have called the knock-on in there because Matt Campbell had the ball and just froze solid. I don't know whether he was expecting the ball, the little tap play, the knock-on. And, yeah, Matt Campbell froze solid for just a moment and then got pushed into touch. So either way, it was going to be a turnover possession. And once again, West Belconnen unable to complete a set. This really has been the scrappiest half of football I've seen so far this year.
And look, when we're coming up with number 1 against number 2, perhaps the little nerves are playing into it because it's not a must-win game yet, but gee, you'd like to get this one.
Well, you want the bragging rights. There's a lot to be said about coming up against this side, another side that's right in finals contention later on in the season, knowing that you've beaten them earlier in the year. I suppose if you've beaten them when you've played badly, that may be of some better use to you. As we see, I think that's Tupou over there, taking the ball up to about the 20-metre line. So the Bushrangers once again not making ground quickly.
But making ground, which is the important point, really. And Matty Gruber sneaks a little 10 metres himself out of acting dummy.
They have held the ball a little bit better. You see Fabian Antonio now takes it to about 45 out from his own line, but this is the last tackle, so kick to come. Go across to the right. Pick up, puts the ball downfield. Underneath it is Matt Campbell. This time no danger of him being bundled into the touch because the winger is going straight up the middle of the park, but gets past a couple of attempted tacklers and gets himself on there. I think I gave that kick to Picker before. It may have actually been Murray who made the kick. Now it's Fulavai. He takes the ball up to 40 and makes another couple of metres. Jacob Graham with a very distinctive hairdo in a dummy half. Now he gives it to Matt Campbell. So Campbell can influence the game just a little bit more. What have we got? 7 minutes remaining till half time. Certainly a change for this West Belconnen side now that they've had Jacob Graham come into dummy half, and that was a big hit.
Contact on a Rohard to an Avai.
He's done well to hold on to the ball there, and he's struggling to get to his feet to play it now. Goes to Brown. Brown finds Bailey Litster, so Litster's moved in from the wing. And again running up the middle of the park as well. Now a kick will come through from McQueen. There's nobody home. This will roll and roll.
Hold up.
Oh, well, that's a great read.
It goes dead, yep.
Great read from Gruber. Would have heard the footsteps coming, judged that it was going to continue to roll, and indeed do so.
They're in no rush to get this set started.
I'll come back to the 20, and they should get a 7-tackle set here.
That's right.
So let's see how they go. They're really taking their time, making sure they're set. And starting it off is Daniel Hickson, and he makes 10. Well, almost 10. Plenty off to the right, but they go to the left instead. Toetu. He's on the way up. Across to the far side, that may be Smith.
And that's what the Bushrangers have been doing well so far this half, is just those, just straight and hard.
They go to the right, then they go to the left, and they go to the right. And this time it's with Antonio again, Fabian Antonio. And now they're up to the 40. Just the change in direction. So hard to defend against because they do it so regularly as Murray puts a kick in. Oh, that's a very ordinary looking kick. I was going to say he kicked it very hard for a grubber. I think he got caught in two minds as to whether he wanted the grubber or actually wanted to put the ball up. And in the end, well, flubbed it.
And to be honest, the Bushies have been inviting the Warriors in. It's just they've not been willing to accept the open door, really. Let's see what they can do here. Little offload there. And they'll take it up 50, around the 55-metre mark. Played now to Harry Watman, and he'll be brought down 35 metres out. Warriors with a few tackles left up their sleeves. Let's see what they can do in the next 5 minutes.
Across to the right, McQueen, instrumental there.
Duffy gets it, but wasn't able to get it out, so he's brought down. We're the 30-metre line now. They go to the blind side. And they almost sneak through, but they're brought, and they do earn a penalty. So great opportunity now for the West Belconnen Warriors to get some points on the board.
What I'm liking here for the Warriors, since Jacob Graham came on, it's just changed the focus of the attack for them. And Jacob Graham and Ryan McQueen really seem to be very much on the same page. So we're seeing just a good combination in there from dummy half to halfback. And it's helping them get metres, but the rest of the side need to hang on to the pill as Harry Watman takes it to about 10 out directly in front. So they've got a full set bar one tackle from 10 metres out. Right. And 4 minutes remaining. So they could very easily close this gap before half time.
Nice little offload there from Jacob Graham.
That was a good little offload. Forwards ready
back
forward.
On the other side. He comes again and he scoots himself. And it looks like he has gone over. Jacob Graham, excellent work from him. He just scoots over from dummy half. And geez, you're right, Chris. He has been excellent since he has come on. Crisp service out of dummy half, and also has that ability just to burst out of dummy half and there he gets the ball down. So
I'd like to see where he came from there, because he played the ball, the previous play, the ball ran across to the side, and the next tackle was made, and he's turned around and he's come running in and just picked up the ball at speed, and
that's
the momentum has taken him over, and he's been able to plant the ball down before the Bushies defence could get in there. So Jacob Graham started on the bench, but since he's come on, he really has been a focal point for this West Belconnen Warriors side. In fact, I would safely say that he's been the best player out there for the West Belconnen Warriors in the first half.
Yep, I agree. And since he's come on, you're right, they have looked a lot better. And now with 3 minutes left, they'll put this over 12-6. I mean, that's considering the possession that the Bushrangers have had and considering the errors and the penalties that the West Belconnen Warriors have inflicted upon themselves. 12-6 is a great scoreline and gives them a great opportunity coming into the half to... You'd think that they're on top.
Well, they certainly have the momentum. Wait for the kick. Oh, that's far too easy. So Matt Campbell gets goal number 17 for the year.
And now it's just important for the Warriors to have a good set after points. Just get to your kick, wind down the half, go in 12-6.
Well, what we've seen with this West Belconnen side, when they get the ball, they can actually make some metres fairly quickly. Tuggeranong in no hurry to restart here. I think they're pretty keen to make sure that, if possible, only one set is what they've got to face here. I'll put a wager on it that the kick will be right down to the far corner. Who's that in the far corner for West Belconnen? I reckon it's Mitch Shaw, and it is. He's the target. Doesn't quite get... Oh, dear. Marty Bella, 1994 in New South Wales Rugby League Grand Final style.
I had to say something, didn't I?
It's a shocker there from Ryan McQueen.
Apologies to Ryan McQueen for...
Well, I did say earlier that corner of the field, it's very hard in that corner of the field. It's only going to get harder in the second half until the grandstand shadow makes us all the way across.
He never looked comfortable under that ball.
Again, I suspect that the sun may well have helped him in there. So what have we got? 80 seconds remaining until half-time. And
can the Bushrangers return us to where we were a minute ago, which is 12-point difference?
A few fans there calling for a forward pass to Antonio, but it wasn't. Now it goes to, I think it's
it looks like... Has he gotten over? No, he's brought just short.
Oh, if he scores, you'll know all about it. There'll be plenty of celebration, and that's been put down by Tupou.
They have knocked it on, so...
Well, this game will probably now have one more tackle before half-time, but every time it threatens to get going, every time that we threaten to get a bit of momentum and a bit happening, it just stops again. It's been a very difficult game to watch here. Neither side terribly keen to pack down in the scrum. 40 seconds till the break. So we'll get a couple of tackles here, you would imagine. Looks like Harry Brown's going to feed the scrum for West Belconnen. Does so, picks it up off the back of the scrum. And Duncan Litster was in the forwards, and I think... Was Bailey actually packing down in the scrum there? Did we have the winger in the scrum?
Yeah,
and
I think we might have.
And the second rower out on the wing. Okay. Well,
we're moving now. And it was just simple stuff. 10 seconds left.
Exactly. Jacob Graham looks for someone, gives it to Harry Watman. He runs up the middle of the park. 3, 2, 1. Here comes the siren, or the bell as it is here at Greenway. So one last throw of the dice, or will the Warriors take it all into the tackle? They do. It's Duncan Litster who's holding the ball. As referee Oliver Levito says, that'll do us for the first 40. Again, a scrappy affair. You mentioned the possibility of nerves. You may well be right there, Ryan, but it has not been what I think many people would have been expecting from a top-of-the-table clash in round 5 of the Austrokers Canberra Raiders Cup this afternoon.
No, but they'll go away now. You know, you wouldn't want to be in the... I don't think I would want to be in the dressing room as
I
one of the
wouldn't want to be in
players.
either dressing room, frankly. I think that there's going to be plenty of paint peeling off the walls in a few minutes' time. But at the break, it is 12 points to 6. The home side, the Tuggeranong Bushrangers, over the first-placed visitors, the West Belconnen Warriors. We'll see whether we can get a little bit more excited and a little bit more spark and continuous football in the next 40. You're watching the Austbrokers Canberra Raiders Cup on Bar TV. We'll be back with the second half in just a few minutes.
All right, welcome back to second half of the Ozbrokers Canberra Regional Rugby League match of the round between the Tuggeranong Bushrangers and the West Belconnen Warriors. Good turnout here today. It looks like we have a few extras, though I'm not sure if they paid the concession fee. You'll see over there a couple of Eastern Greys.
What is the going rate for a kangaroo to get into the footy? I reckon there's more of them now than there was in the first half. There's another bunch of up at the 10-20 line. There's some behind the in-goal area.
I think if a kangaroo comes to the gate demanding to be let in, you just let him in.
You probably do. I wouldn't be arguing. What's that, Skip? Best seats in the house are on the eastern side? Right, gotcha. Okay. So 12-6 we've got at the moment. And I can't imagine that either coach, Justin Giddo for the Tuggeranong Bushrangers or Troy Thompson for the West Belconnen Warriors, would be terribly happy with how that first 40 panned out. And going by the fact that West Belconnen are out there already, I reckon they probably decided the safest place to be is on the field as opposed to within tongue-lashing range of their coach. Justin Giddo keeping his Bushrangers troops in the sheds for a little while longer, although... Is that him down there? That looks like... I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's Gitz or not. Has just come out for the Bushrangers. But they're certainly being held in the sheds with plenty more conversation being had. Maybe a little bit of contemplative stuff going on in the sheds. Referee turns around, has a look to see whether the Tuggeranong are going to grace us with their presence anytime soon. He's got on the radio. There we go. So if you have just joined us, it is 12 points to 6 Tuggeranong over the West Belconnen Warriors with the halftime score. I'm almost tempted to say it flatters both sides.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You know, that Tuggeranong, they've scored 12 and probably lucky to have 12 in some ways, and West Belconnen have got 6 and they're lucky to have that. There's been a lot of drop ball as the Bushrangers make their way out. First versus second on the table. West Belconnen came into this side with a massive 60-point differential. That's huge, having only played 3 games for the season. And the Bushies, they're undefeated with 32 points. What odd's the draw this afternoon? That'd be in the equation as well at some stage, wouldn't it? We saw a draw here last year. Now, I'm going from memory here. I may have this wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was here last year where we had Woden Valley and Tuggeranong played out a draw. And then they played another draw when they met each other at Woden last year at Phillips. So, draw's not out of the question for this Tuggeranong Bushrangers side, but the West Belconnen Warriors, they kick off. They don't use the sun. They put it down into the arms of Blake Murray, and he gives it off to Tupou, who takes it up to about the 20-metre line for the Bushrangers as they get things underway in the second half. And now it's with Fayette Ede, and look at him go. He's made it up to about 35 out.
Not a great start from the Bushrangers.
He's asked for a penalty. And I don't think he's going to be
forthcoming.
His wish is going to be granted. It is going to go into the scrum. So we've started the way we finished the first half, with more scrappy play and little ball security.
Yeah, and West Belconnen Warriors very happy to take their opportunity here. If they can hold on to it, anything could happen. And they spread it out wide to Brown.
Harry Brown's a better player than that. Ball's gone
play
to
on though for the Bushrangers.
Bushies have picked it up, so play resumes as Francis Toetu bounces out of one, bounces out of a second, straightens up, gets inside the 40, and he gives it off to Mitchell. Mitchell finds support from, is that Antonio?
Yeah, that looks like it's a strip though.
Antonio's lost the ball, but it has been stripped out.
And despite these errors and penalties, I don't think either team looks like they're particularly afraid to chance their arm a little bit.
The way this game's gone, I'm surprised that they didn't actually think about taking a shot for goal. As
a nice big run.
Antonio comes off the bench, scored 2 tries already this season. Which way? Now it goes to Hickson in the headgear. He's still going. And he's lost the ball and nearly lost his legs.
And the ref waves play on. Looks like it may have been a one-on-one strip, but anyway.
It was.
It was almost through, just left the ball behind.
Kind of an important piece of equipment when you're charging towards the try line, I would have thought. Here's Jacob Graham demonstrating and remonstrating, saying, can we actually have a chance to play the ball quickly? Bailey Litster coming off the wing again. They really do shuffle it up in their back line, the West Belconnen Warriors. Tim Sloman on that occasion.
Nice little run there.
Playing some really traditional footy here, this West Belconnen Warriors side, giving it to the forwards, and they're just running it up early in the count. That's Dan Killick-Moran. 5 short of halfway. Last tackle. Kick will come from Brown.
Kicks from just outside his 40 and swallowed.
Good take from Tolkakau. And he's still going. Almost goes gymnastics forward roll style to get over the halfway line before he's brought to ground.
Decides to have a run.
Now it's Toetu again. That's really distinctive headgear he's got on. I'd love to know what brand it is. It's good looking stuff. Makes him very easy to pick up.
Some nice runs from the Bushrangers.
Now they've got the back line set all the way across the park.
They go the blind side though.
Yeah, they might just use it on the next... Well, they won't because they've lost the ball. Oh, gee, it's getting frustrating to watch this.
And that's an unnecessary offload. You're 10 metres out, if that. Couple tackles left up your sleeve.
I don't know.
Take the tackle at that point.
Don't know whether that was an offload or whether it was poor ball security. We can't see a replay here. We don't have access to a screen to watch. So we just call it as we see it here, but as we get play stopped here, I wonder whether we can get this game just billed as Fumble Fest 2018 because seriously, I reckon we've seen more drop ball today
than completed sets.
I reckon I've seen more drop ball today than in the previous 4 games that I've called combined for the season. I know there was plenty of it in the Thursday night season opener at GIO Stadium, but really it's been
dire straits for the number 1 and 2 team on the competition who are undefeated.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You know, you're talking about the competition leaders here, and neither of them playing like it this afternoon. Let's see what the West Belconnen Warriors can do on this set.
Oh, puts him in a dangerous position, and he's earned the penalty. Bit of
push and shove. Jamal Nachuki it was who went in with the tackle. Went in hard with a little bit of lift. So now West Belconnen. Now, I mentioned this before, Harry Brown, he's got a big kick. He's kicking that from his 20. Oh, and he's
come off the side of his foot there, though.
That is, again, the commentator's curse in action. He's made a meal of that, and he's only made about 4 metres, if that. So it'll be Harry Watman taking the ball up to about, 30. Really have been impressed with Graham. He's doing a lot of dummy half. That's Dan Killick-Moran.
Looking for that offload, gets it away.
Finds Bailey Litster.
And in the end, didn't really make much extra off the offload, but Jacob Graham to...
I love this combination between Graham and Brown. I've commented on the combination between Graham and McQueen in the first half, so it's got to be very hard to read when you've got a dummy half, a 5'8" and a halfback. So we see it go to Dan Killick-Moran again.
Gets an offload away.
Oh, he gets it across, and waiting for it was Riley Thomas, but he couldn't get the ball away. You can see Thomas was waiting for it. He's still trying to go there. Duncan Litster, if he'd been able to get it away, it would have been try time.
Oh, Brown just tried to sneak a little grubber through, but unfortunately, not much going there, and Bushrangers to start their set. Almost 10 metres out from their own end zone.
As I was saying before, though, about the West Belconnen Warriors, when they've got...
Oh, look, Chris, sorry to interrupt you there. We've got down the edge. Oh, he's been about 3 players. Has basically nobody in support, but he has to go himself.
He's going to run out of there.
He's run out of space, and he's lost the ball as well.
Oh, no.
A 90-metre run from the Tuggeranong Bushrangers ends in an unfortunate... loss of possession.
Ran out of petrol tickets and then lost the petrol tank lid as well. Yep. Wouldn't have been shut the gate the horses bolted, but it would have made it very, very difficult for the Warriors. The way this game really hasn't opened up at all.
Just needed a man in support there. Someone screaming other side of him he could get that offload to. Well, unfortunately, it was
that, and he needed to hang on to the ball and he got tackled.
That's a crucial part of it as well.
That's frustrating stuff for the Bushies fans. A big raw, big
Warriors get away with another one.
They have. They've gotten away with a lot this afternoon. So the score remains 12-6, and the Warriors, they'll be trying to bring it out from their own end of the park once again. As Bailey Lidster brings it up the middle for starters. That's with Duffy. We'll get to this analysis of the hooker half 5/8 set up with West Belconnen at some stage, but we've still got half an hour to go in this one, so plenty of time to talk about that. Going through Dan Killick-Moran again. He's been busy since he came on as well.
Hasn't he?
And again, Lidster. This time it's Bailey.
Now on the last.
Brown gets past one.
Comes back, has a little run himself.
Oh, he's going to... Oh, dear.
He gets the ball away. Play on. Another offload. They're just going to have to... Yep. Gets the... Is that a forward with the kick?
We'll call that almost a Billy Slater style kick.
It's not a bad kick.
Oh, he's run over the dead ball line.
He's earned himself a repeat set.
Oh, well.
A bit of desperation there.
I've never seen a man eat his own head, but outside of that, I've seen absolutely everything. I think Brown was unaware it was the last tackle there until it was almost too late. He got the offload, gave it to one of his forwards. The forward, I don't think that was a deliberate kick. I think he's dropped the ball.
He's just managed to get a toe to it.
He's got a toe to it. And
it was not a bad result in the end for the Warriors.
He's spun effluent into gold. Let's go with that. And the Warriors are going to get the ball back. What can Mitchell do with the kick? He goes high, so it's only going to go to about the 30-metre line. He's got Nella Moa waiting for it. They're going to go further than that to Brown. Now Bailey Lidster. Lidster still
Great
going.
involvement early in this half. Beats a couple there. Brought down just outside the 20. And they go short side.
Is that Lockhead? I reckon that's Bailey Lockhead in the bottom of the pile.
Ref's happy. And it's going to be 12-10.
Well, it's not Lockhead because he's back over this side. Not 100% certain who's wound up with the try there, but...
Warriors just out of nowhere.
They're playing faster in the second half. They are playing much faster football in the second half. It's higher risk but higher reward. We saw a fairly slow, stuttery performance from both sides in the first 40. The Warriors, they've kicked it up, and we've had it confirmed now that it was actually Tavita Aroha Twinavai who scored in there. So, well, I can say that, yeah, 3 instead of 9. So
they're both capable of scoring points, Chris. We've seen that all season so far.
Well, that's true. What did the Bushies run up? 34, 26 and 20, so in diminishing returns, but same story for the Warriors, 40, 36 and 32. And you would imagine, with Matt Campbell over there, with a bit of a radar, he's kicked 17 goals for the season so far. This would be number 18. It will tie things up with half an hour or just under half an hour remaining. Raises the flags from the touch judge, gets the whistle from the referee, and it's back to all square with 29 left on the clock, 12 points apiece at Greenway.
And Chris, I think the difference for the Warriors has been the injection of Jacob Graham. He's come out in the second half just as quick as he was in the first. He's a real live wire for the Warriors.
He's made a big difference, and what we might take is, I'll see if I can actually get this out now as we get the restart here. I have really been impressed with the way that Graham has come out into dummy half, and he can set it up by getting the ball to McQueen or to Brown, and it's very difficult for Tuggeranong to work out which way he's going to go. He's got twin options almost every tackle, and it does make it very hard.
And he's not afraid to go himself either. Sorry.
Exactly, yeah, and he's certainly done very well out there, and they've still got Bailey Lockhead out there as well. So you've got basically two hookers, a halfback and a 5/8 who can almost interchange amongst each other on the field. It makes it very difficult to read. And here goes Brown now. And he's wrapped up on about the 20-metre mark at his own end of the park.
We see Graham now playing it out to Lockhead. So hooker to hooker there. And it's a big kick from Ryan McQueen. Matty Gruber chasing that ball, but he's... Oh, he almost let it go dead, but he had to play at it.
Down in Kangaroo Corner, we'll call it, as he gives it back to Tilkarkau.
And he's running around trying to find some space. Gets an offload. Tuggeranong Bushrangers not afraid to chance their hand. And it looks like they found a gap down the middle, but brought down...
Great run by
35.
Pollard.
Great run.
This is Smith. He makes another 15, so they're at halfway on the second tackle.
Baying for a penalty, and
they get it. Well, this is really where your training drills come into it, isn't it? You're starting on the 30 with a full set of 6. This is training stuff. This is really training drill. You just run it and run it hard, and that's what Francis Toetu does. Gets it inside the 20 now, so big chance if they can make another 10 on this tackle, and they've done just that with, I think it was Tupou. Across to the left they go. Onto the chest of Venisi. He's been quiet today.
Now they're spread out now to the right, and that's the way they go. Although he tucks it under his arm and goes himself, but held up outside the end zone, so he'll play there and just going himself. I think that's Brett Neal. Or is it Mitchell? It's Mitchell. They spread it wide. Little kick in, but almost a charge down, and the Warriors have picked it up. So the Warriors survive. 12 all. 15 minutes gone. Look, another wasted opportunity for the Bushrangers.
A little bit of luck there going the Warriors' way, but Harry Brown, if he'd been able to stay on his feet and pick that up, he would have been off to the races. There was nobody home, and it would have been another foot race. Yeah, I think that's Mitch Shaw in the bottom of the pile. Now they're on the run again. This time,
and Lockhead
through Bailey Lockhead.
Playing more as a middle forward now. And he earns inside a penalty. So great work from both the hookers.
Certainly working hard at it. Just look at the height or lack thereof of Jacob Graham when he stands up.
He is a little pocket rocket.
He has got to be the shortest player out there, and the shortest player out there by a considerable number of inches. Penalty touch finder just finds touch.
He's not had much luck with those, has he, Harry Brown?
Well, he just had to make sure he actually got it into touch there. It was... Although I've seen him kick bigger than that, so I'm not quite sure what the plan was. Mitch Shaw, that was, as he takes the ball to the 40 for West Belconnen on the attack again.
And Graham goes himself but passes it back into his hooking partner, Lockhead, who bounces off a couple but is brought down.
Eventually. Oh, it's slow.
It looks like somebody's... Oh, no, we're okay here. Jacob Graham playing the ball. Pumps it a couple times, puts it out to Harry Brown. Passes it on to his outside man, who's brought down just outside the 20. Couple tackles gone. That's the way they go again. And it's a Roja Tuanavai, the try scorer, who's brought down 15 metres out. Graham plays the ball out to Harry Brown. Into Mitchell, then straight through. Will he go? He has got himself. He just finds the gap in the middle. Who is that? Is it Lister?
I think it's Bailey Lister.
Lister just found the space in the middle and burned a couple of guys.
You keep working it up one side and working it up one side, which is what West Belconnen did there. They just kept it going over to the left and over to the left. And the Bushrangers' defence slid across, and the quick turnaround and the extra couple of passes. And Lister at speed got onto the ball, took it over the line and was in for the try.
And what a turnaround for the Warriors. They looked dire later into the first half. Then they got one back and managed to be 12-6 going into the half, and now leading 16-12 with almost halfway through this second half. And look, I think this will be an easy kick now for Matt Campbell.
I think they're all fairly easy for Matt Campbell. He seems pretty good at this kicking caper, doesn't he?
Always handy to have a sharpshooter like that in your pocket. So he'll make it 18-12 for the Warriors, although...
let's not be too hasty.
Yeah, yep.
Let's not do that. You don't want to put the mocker on him too much.
But look, a great turnaround for the Warriors, Chris.
I'm just wondering where the points are going to come from for the Bushrangers here. Let's put a little bit of dispassionate analysis on it as the conversion is successful off the boot of Campbell and makes it 18 points to 12. What have we got? 23 minutes remaining here. I'm just wondering where the points are going to come from the Bushrangers. Bear in mind the first try from Francis Tuggeranong came off a dropped ball. The second one was a scurry over from dummy half by Josh Mitchell. But they really haven't threatened a lot in the red zone. They've got to the red zone, but they really haven't threatened the line a lot, which says a lot about this West Belconnen Warriors defence.
Dear. Well, see, and that's what it is, Chris. The West Belconnen Warriors, they have had some issues with their fifth tackle sets, but with opportunities like these that the Warriors keep giving the Bushrangers, at some point it is going to crack for them.
Well, that's where the points are going to come from. They're going to come off the back of Warriors' mistakes.
If they can hold on to the ball down this end, eventually the points will come for the Bushrangers.
If they can get a repeat set, if they can't score, if they can get a repeat set as a big bustling run from Vanisi.
And there's the points, Chris.
Forget about the repeat set. He's going to score it on the first. Charges over from 10 metres out. And the lead that West Belconnen took 56 minutes to engineer has lasted about 45 seconds.
That's right, Chris. And even they haven't done this yet, but what they have done well so far this game is running hard, and that's exactly what they did just there. After getting an opportunity from the Warriors, putting the ball down in an unfortunate circumstance, honestly, that was an unlucky bounce for the Warriors, but Bushrangers take full advantage of that. And we're back soon to be all square with 20 minutes to go.
Well, the one thing that people will say in months to come, if they look back at the 2018 season, is we got to round 5 and we had side number 1 up against side number 2. And with 20 minutes remaining, it was either 2 points the difference or all square. We'll see where it finishes up in a moment as
Mitchell
gets ready with the conversion. He's 2 from 2 this afternoon. Again, it's a fairly easy one. Routine one, we should say, as opposed to easy.
Oh, those can be the tricky ones sometimes.
Pops it straight over the
Not
bar.
for Mitchell, though.
So, with 20 remaining, this game is all tied up, and we could be set for some really scintillating football for the final 20 minutes. And that's the thing. People are going to look back at the score of this one in months to come when we start looking back at the season. And people who weren't watching on Bar TV or weren't here this afternoon will think, well, that must have been a cracking game of football. Well,
it might still turn into one yet, Chris.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So what have we got? 19 minutes and 57 seconds as the referee calls for a stoppage because, well... and how often do you see this happen? Yeah, we go for the kick-off and the tee has been forgotten. How often is it? It's kind of, again, it's not quite the most important piece of equipment, but at this stage of play, when there's a kick-off, you're going to need the tee. That is just how it works. It's
Warriors, not a long list.
No, it's not a long list of things you need to play this game, and the kicking tee is one of them as a big bustling run comes from Nia Vanisi, the try scorer. He gets it 10 metres out from his own line, and the Bushrangers, they are back underway, and suddenly they look like they've got just a little bit more pep in their step. Across to the left they go.
Couple of good runs early from the Bushrangers.
Oh, they've gone back to, again, I talked about this from West Belconnen in the first half, traditional footy, giving it to the forwards for the first couple of tackles, and now it's one of the backs. That's Fayette. Get up
he makes some good meters.
Halfway. He's done well as well.
Now Mitchell to play the ball.
Finds Smith.
Now Gruber's just sniffing around the ruck there. He's looking for that offload. He wants to get involved, and I think that may be where the Tuggeranong may be able to find some points later. Big kick down the middle of the park, and that's Jackson Duffy who takes the ball and gets it to his 20, beats one man, looks for the offload, but it is monstered back to his 20-metre line.
Michael Brophy with the kick for the Bushrangers. It's the first time I've seen him kick today. And again, just another element of variety for West Belconnen to have to deal with. Were we live when I said at half-time what odds the draw this afternoon? Or was that when the microphones were off?
No, yep.
Okay.
Could be looking at one.
Just putting it up there. You know, we are 18 minutes to go and 18 points apiece. It may happen.
West Belconnen almost found the space on the edge there. And now Aroha. Is that Aroha?
I think it's actually
Jacob Graham kicks this time.
I think it might have been Nella Moa making the run for West Belconnen that time.
Gruber just tucks it in now and gets his side started. 35 out. Not a bad return there from the custodian for the Bushrangers, trying to play the ball.
Plenty of vocal crowd support here this afternoon.
Venisi, yep.
Hasn't he come alive since scoring that try?
It's Brent Neal playing the ball at around the 45 metre. Starts spreading it to the edge. Ooh, nice little offload there from, was it Smith? Nathan Smith? And then,
Smith and then Ete got it.
Out of space.
Again, plenty of people in the way. Numbers in defence for West Belconnen. 17 remaining. How far out before we see the first field goal attempt? What do you reckon? I reckon it'll be when we got about 6 minutes to go. If there's no more score.
Minutes. Well, at the rate we're going, it's hard for either team to score points, so they might not wait.
You've got to get into field goal position first.
Well, that's true.
I will say, I don't think this game has really featured much by way of precision this afternoon. Apologies to the clubs of you watching on replay, but it's just the way that it has gone here. Ball goes back to Jackson Duffy for the West Belconnen Warriors. This bloke's been good in a dummy half. Jacob Graham, probably the best out there so far this afternoon. A reminder that our man of the match does receive a $50 voucher from the Raiders group of clubs. You'll catch that interview as a separate announcement on Bar TV a wee bit later on. Aroha Tuggeranong. He's changed his boots, I reckon, because he wasn't in those yellow boots at the start of the game, was he? I reckon he's changed his boots. Because they look like they're brand spanking new boots.
Just taking a little long there, the Bushrangers on the last almost gave away a fresh set of 6, which would have been a disaster. And they have given away the penalty. Or is it Warriors for back chat?
I think the Warriors have carried on a little bit. So the home side, they're going to get the penalty. Now, did you see how fast Levi Tilkakau was up there to go for the quick tap? He was told by the referee, no, you can't. We often talk about sides kicking with the wind or whatever, or running with the wind. This afternoon it's the Tuggeranong side going with the Kangaroos in the second half. They're making their way up to the northern end of the ground. Maybe they know something we don't. Tuggeranong, they're calling for it again for a penalty. Mitchell gets in. He finds Smith now. Smith looks to go. Now bear in mind the last try for the Bushrangers came from about here. They popped it onto the chest of Venisi and he charged over and 10 metres out. Now, this is going to see the Bushies with...
Will they take the 2 here?
Oh,
no, they're playing on with it.
They want 6.
They're confident.
You're going to see the forwards get involved here. Either Smith. Nope, they've gone further afield.
He's almost found the gap. Almost sneaking through there.
It was Brophy.
But brought down just over the 10 metre line now.
Neal.
Still going. They got men lined up on the left.
Watch out for Venisi.
They go.
No, they go past him.
Back on the inside to Nathan Smith, and he beats a couple. Looking for the line, but he's brought down just 2 metres out. Mitchell to play it out wide. Brophy again. Brought in his man. That
was Toetu. He lost his footing. Unfortunate for him.
And the intercept's
stolen. Now, what's he got? Well, he's got a fast man on his outside.
He's being chased down by Mo. Will he have the pace? He will. 100-metre effort from the West Belconnen Warriors, and intercept out. And on the other end, the Tuggeranong Bushrangers just turned down an opportunity to take the 2 and get the ball back.
That's
it looks
dangerous.
like they've come to regret that decision, because the West Belconnen Warriors go 100 metres and put it down in the kangaroo corner, as we've come to know.
How far out do you call it for a try assist? Because for mine, the pass came from to Vita Aroha Tuiravai, and that was about 80 metres out. And then into space, and West Belconnen go the length of the field and score. And so with 12 remaining, they've got a 4-point break, and it won't be the easiest of conversions. Was it Litster who got the try over there?
I think it may have
been.
I think
it was. So we didn't actually name him on the way through. My apologies. I just realised we hadn't actually put a name to the player. So Bailey Litster, we think it was, over on the far side. He was going like a bat out of hell, and there were plenty of players chasing him, but no one got to him, and that'll be his second for the afternoon. Well, plenty for the highlight reel. That's what we can say about this one. And it's 68 minutes. So, Tuggeranong, well, you've got to wonder why they didn't take the 2 there. I am a big believer early in the game of not taking the 2.
Absolutely.
Have a crack, get the points, but when it's
6-0 in the 5th minute, 8-0's not going to win you the game.
No.
But in a game like this where points have been hard to come by for both teams, you've got just over 10 minutes left in the second half. It's 18-all. You have the opportunity to take the 2 and get the ball back. I like taking the tap and I like taking the chance, but at that point I think I would take the 2. Hindsight is 20/20, and of course it's been a terrible choice in the end for the Bushrangers.
Well, we did mention it, albeit briefly, but we did mention it at the time that they had the penalty.
Yep.
They were close, they were in range, and they elected not to take it. So instead of a 2-point advantage, a 4-point deficit is what they have, because the conversion unsuccessful from Matt Campbell. He's 3 from 4 this afternoon, and now the home side, having led for the bulk of the afternoon, well, they've got to find 4.
Is that the 4th time it's changed hands?
1,
second,
2, 3, 3rd time it's changed. The lead has changed hands, and West Belconnen hanging onto the ball here is going to make life very, very difficult for the Tuggeranong Bushrangers, but we have seen the West Belconnen side have trouble hanging onto the ball. What's Harry Brown got? He's got Aroha Tuiravai on his outside. He's been pretty good this afternoon. Ball pops up, bounces around. It's been picked up by the West Belconnen side, and 6 again. So what have the Warriors got? Sloman, who dived on it. Now it goes to Brown. Lockhead in at the bottom of the pile. They go across to the right even further. That's with Kelly. Graham in at dummy half again, taking his time. Gets in there now, gives it to Shaw. Shaw's still going. Graham. McQueen. Thomas. We've hardly seen West Belconnen attack down the right all day. Full of iron at dummy half, gives it across to McQueen.
Nice hands
to Lockhead. 10 out. Last tackle. Which way? Option is left. Brown straightens into an opposition player and is brought to ground 5 metres out. Attacking raid comes to nothing. 9.5 remaining. 4 points the difference. And the Bushrangers need to, well, they need to go probably a good 70.
Well, it's not the worst option for the Warriors, because if you put a kick in and give away a 7-tackle set...
Oh, dear.
Is that a knock-on in the play of the ball? Yep.
I'm biting my tongue at the minute. It's just... I was expecting so much from this game this afternoon. I've been looking forward to this one all week. As soon as I checked the fixtures on Monday to see which game we had, and knowing that we had this one, the Bushies and the Warriors, and knowing they were 1 versus 2, this game has just... Look, it's a close game. That's its one saving grace, because it really has failed to live up to my expectations for a top-of-the-table clash. That was Shaw on the run for the Warriors.
And Graham plays it out to Lockhead. He's brought down around 5 metres out. Warriors 22-18. Under 10 minutes to go. Kelly receives the ball on a big lift from the Tuggeranong Bushrangers. He's brought down just a metre out. Graham has a look himself.
Yeah, that wasn't
He's
going to
looking
work.
there.
Tries to pull a rabbit out of the hat.
They played out to the left. Lockhead, big pass out to Harry Brown. Now to Aroha Tuanavai. He's brought down 10 metres out. Plays the ball there, lined up to the right. That's the way they go. Harry Brown out to his partner, Ryan McQueen.
Oh, no. It was the last tackle.
Last tackle, 6 again for the Warriors. What can they come up with here? He's caught himself there. Almost gone through Jacob. Jacob Grant has a little dart. He's lifted up and put on his back by the Bushrangers. Playing the ball now.
Bushies have to defend here. They've got to defend.
Oh, Lockhead in a big crunching tackle. Gee, you'll feel that one tomorrow. Harry Brown darts himself, and he's taken down as well in another excellent tackle from the Bushrangers. That's exactly the sort of starch and defence that they've needed.
Aroha Tuanavai. He's popped that away. That'll be 6 again.
For the Warriors.
There was a little knock on in there from the Bushrangers. It goes through Duncan Lidster. Lidster looking for the line. He's still going. He's still going. Can he wrap this game up? Oh, he's short by about 1.5 inches. He's lost the ball in there. I think the Bushies may have come up with it. Well, I said a minute ago, Ryan, that the Bushrangers had to defend, and boy, did they defend. They
made it hard for themselves with 3 errors or penalties in there. A couple of repeat sets for the Warriors, but they managed to hold them out, and they have just over 6.5 minutes
there's
left.
Heaps of time.
Unconverted try the difference.
That was some great defence from them. Now, what have they got here? They're shaping up for a line dropout. So they've pinched the ball
survived,
and then gone back into their own in-goal area. So they've still got more defending to do. McQueen, Shaw.
Oof.
So
Bushrangers just trying to lift here with some big efforts in defence. Kelly almost sneaks through though.
Warriors score here. It's good night, Nurse.
Absolutely. Shaw has a run himself. Just puts it under his arm. Tackled just inside the 10. Lined up to the right. That's the way Graham goes. Out to McQueen. Oh, slips it through to his inside man. Great edge run there. From, I believe it was Lidster.
It was.
Graham, he's looking for that try himself, isn't he?
Oh, he wants the match winner under his name. He won't get to score it, but he'll get to set it up here.
Queen just dabs it in. Oh, almost.
Full-of-eye charging at great pace. Good work by the Bushrangers to tap it out over the sideline, but it'll be yet more possession coming up for West Belconnen.
Inside the final 5 minutes, the clock really is the enemy now for the Bushrangers.
There's a few very, very tired Tuggeranong Bushrangers players there, sucking in the big ones.
Hands on hips, hands on knees.
They need to get a really big kick. Instead, they go for the sideline.
Looks close.
Duncan Lidster it is who's got it. He's 20 out. Graham at dummy half. Gives it to Shaw. Straightens up the middle. They don't have to score West Belconnen. They've just got to keep on hammering the line. That's to Kelly. He's 3 out, adjacent to the posts. They've got to go right. Graham does that, finds McQueen. Up over the top. It's to Full-of-Eye. He scores in the corner. Game over.
And great work there from Duffy in the lead-up. He's been a bit quiet in this second half, but just manages to get involved with, just pops one over the top to his wingman. And that's game, set, match, Chris.
I would say so. With less than 4 minutes to go, it'll be less than 3 minutes to go by the time the conversion's taken. Ricky Full-of-Eye just had himself parked out there on the wing. The amount of possession that the West Belconnen Warriors have had there, I reckon they've had the ball for the last 4 minutes. And let's do some quick arithmetic. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 5 or maybe 6 sets in a row that the Tuggeranong Bushrangers had to defend there, with the various line dropouts, knock-ons on attempted intercept, and so on. I think, 5, maybe 6, might have even been 7 sets, to be technical about it, that West Belconnen have had. And this West Belconnen Warriors side, they won the premiership a couple of years ago. They've knocked off the defending premiers 40-0 in round 1. They're a very, very good side when they have the ball. And while their ball security hasn't been great, you just can't keep giving the ball back to them and expect not to pay some sort of a penalty for it. And in the end, the penalty has been for the Tuggeranong Bushrangers. They've surrendered the 12-0 lead that they had after 20 minutes, and they are now, 26-12 down, or 26-18 down, I should say, with 2.5 left on the clock. No way that they can get this one back because, well, Matt Campbell, he is taking all the time in the world to take the conversion.
And yeah, look, there was some valiant defence there from the Bushrangers. But you, like you said, Chris, you can't give up 6 or 7 sets in a row and hope to get away with it. Look, they'll go for the quick, short kickoff now.
Well, they've got one hope.
Let's see if they can set us up for a grandstand finish. Let's not write them off just yet.
Because they've got one hope left here, really. They don't have time to score twice. There's 2 minutes left. But an 8-point try would salvage a draw.
It would. And they recover the short kickoff, and it's play on.
Campbell's got it. He's still going up the middle.
He's got himself. He doesn't need anybody. And he's brought down 5 metres out, so less than 2 minutes left. 2 tries needed for the Bushrangers. They need to score basically right now.
Well, they score right now, forfeit the kick at goal, and get one more crack to go 90 metres.
Look, it almost happened last night if you were watching.
Too true. It came from nothing in the Parramatta Cronulla game. Yep. The defence from West Belconnen's been fairly solid this second half.
Lovely little inside ball for Matty Gruber. He pops the offload. Now it's Fayette who's brought down 1 metre out. 1 minute left for the Bushrangers. They spread it wide.
Brophy,
very last chance.
And they've lost the ball. And that really, I think...
That puts it... I'm ready to call it, Chris. I don't know about you. I'll put my name to it.
Yeah, with no small amount of irony, that really does sort of present the tale of this game.
It has been.
In microcosm, in 30 seconds there. Some really good attacking potential and then a dropped ball. I reckon if you watch the game on replay, wherever you drop in via the replay...
There'll be some drops.
You'll get that. You'll get a minute or two of really good play and then a drop ball. There's been more drop ball this afternoon than I can ever recall in a game of rugby league. It has really been a scrappy affair, but in the end, it's going to be West Belconnen to get up. Now, what is it, 26 points to 18. So we might as the last few seconds tick out, run through the scoring summary because we did start late, so we'll try and wrap up as quickly as we can. The scoring summary, we've got 2 tries there for Bailey Lidster, 1 for Tavita Aroha Twinavai, 1 for Jacob Graham and 1 for Ricky Fullervai. So 2 of the tries for the West Belconnen Warriors coming from their bench players and 3 from 5 with the boot for Matt Campbell. For the Bushrangers, it was Josh Mitchell, Noah Vanisi and Francis Tueta who scored the tries, and Josh Mitchell had 3 goals from as many attempts. And it finished up being 26 points to 18 for the visiting side. They will extend their lead at the top of the competition table, but any other sides watching that one, I suspect, may be feeling that the West Belconnen Warriors are eminently beatable during the course of the season. They might be 4-0, but there's certainly plenty of signs out there that other sides will be looking at and saying, we can do stuff with that.
Absolutely. It took until, honestly, the last 20-15 minutes for the either side to look particularly dangerous. Warriors managing to hold on to the ball finally and managed to put some quick points on as a result. Both teams have a glut of talent. It's just been a matter of holding on to the ball. And like you said, Chris, I think a few other teams will be looking at that performance and saying, look, we can beat that.
No, that's for sure. We'll have as a separate broadcast on the Bar TV channel the announcement of the man of the match this afternoon. I suspect it's not too hard to pick who we're going to be leaning towards, but you'll find that out a wee bit later on. But this afternoon, look, I won't say an exciting affair, but a very scrappy affair for a top-of-the-table clash. The West Belconnen Warriors, they continue their merry way in the Icebreakers Canberra Raiders Cup competition. They win this one 26 points to 18. On behalf of the Bar TV crew and Ryan Curran, this is Chris Coleman saying thanks for joining us from Greenway on this Sunday afternoon on Bar TV.
All right, I'm here with man of the match for the West Belconnen Warriors, Jacob Graham. Jacob, bit of a scrappy match in the end.
Yeah, mate, it was definitely scrappy from the start with us. I don't think we completed a set in the first half or first 20-so minutes, so we definitely did it the hard way. But it was good to get the win, even in those scrappy situations.
Yeah, and what did the coach say to you at halftime when you went into the sheds after the first half?
No, it was all positive. He just wanted us to really focus on completing our sets and just getting to the kick like we trained all week. Other than that, it was we've just worked for each other and we'll come away with it like we did.
And what do you take out of that win?
Mate, Bushies are a tough side. They're probably one of the informed sides at the moment, but just our defence was pretty good. That's about all we can probably take from it is the defence for us. So that's about it.
Awesome work, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Ta.
Thanks, boys.